Yeah, now it is recorded. Fine. So introduction to the DSP. Let me start with the title of the subject, which is written as digital signal processing. Okay. So this is the title. So let us understand the title first, then we'll enter into the subject. There are two things. One is digital signal, then digital processing. Actually, this is what exactly two words, the meaning of the subject. So when I say digital signal, we all talk about the inputs and outputs. When you talk about the digital processing, we talk about the processing of the input signal to produce output, right? So when I say processing of the input signal, we all deal with algorithms. They're all generalized, right? Need not to be specific to a particular topic, whether it is any kind of, even the mechanical also, any kind of designing you wanted to generate or get the design, you just find an algorithm for it. So processing is all about algorithm. So you're trying to develop an algorithm which will be responsible to convert your input signal into an output signal. Agreed or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So our subject is all about understanding two different things. What do you mean by a digital signal and what do you mean by a digital processing? So when I say digital processing is ultimately a computer. Computer will do everything in a digital mode. So I should understand the computer processing. And coming to understanding the subject, I expect no prerequisite knowledge. What I expect from the students is the mathematics. And there is one more subject called signals and system, which is not there for you, but I don't know whether in BTech have you studied the subject signals and system?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Fine. Not in-depth knowledge may not be expected, but at least mathematics is sufficient for me to understand the digital signal processing in an effective way. So just I'll try to explain mathematics as, just a minute. Okay, fine. So as mathematics is already known to most of you, so I will not discuss much on the mathematics side, but slightly I will tell. I need, yeah, I think first class, so it takes time for me to accept in between also. Okay. So coming to the mathematics point of view, what exactly we use, maybe sometimes differentiation related operations we expect, maybe some integration. Yeah, have you studied digital system subject anything in UG?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
You know AND gate, OR gate, flip flops. These are all new things to you.
Like
We
we
know
have
yes,
read
sir.
it
Logic yes, sir.
in
Yeah,
embedded
because
systems. We have some
yeah.
basic ideas.
Okay,
Logic
very
gates we have done, sir.
okay, very good. So logic gates also is sufficient for me. So under that there is one extra device is called flip flop. Heard about flip flops? It's the smallest memory element which can
No,
store
sir.
one bit of information. Is called flip flop. Okay. So not an issue, but the only thing is what I expected from the students is they should have a knowledge about some mathematics, then signal system, then digital systems. So then some new operations which I'm going to discuss. Some new operations which you have not studied in the mathematics. Generally, we call it the convolution. Heard about this word? No, right?
No, no, sir.
Convolution you have not heard. So this is one of the important operation besides your normal arithmetic operations, addition, then subtraction, then multiplication. Division may not be useful most of the time. Okay, so mathematics point of view, these are the different operations we might use more frequently. Only thing is some extra operation called convolution, which you need to spend some time in understanding about it. Then digital system, as you said, no, we have logic gates, which you said already you studied. Then I want extra, the word called flip-flop. Basically, it is the smallest memory element, smallest digital memory, I should say. Just a minute. The smallest memory element or digital memory element, I must say. Smallest digital memory element, which can store 1 bit of information. Which can store 1 bit of information. So this is a very simple definition, but anyhow, I'll repeat all these things. So this is what prerequisite expected from the students who are going to understand about the subject called digital signal processing. So let me start with the signal system, because as you said, mathematics is most of you have gone through, and digital system, at least in embedded system, you got some logic gates and all, where signals and system is completely new to you. So I'll try to spend some time on the only signals and system for today's class. So once you understand what exactly prerequisite required for this digital signal processing, then I will enter into the subject. So today whole class, I'm just trying to give you overview of what exactly students who have already undergone the subject called signals and system, what exactly they understood. So whole semester the students will understand, but I'll try to explain in a very simple way where all of you can understand. So around 1.5 hour, we are trying to concentrate only on the signals and system. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So this is exactly not your subject topic, but this is a topic which is required to understand our subject. Okay, that is the reason I'm just trying to put some time on the signals and system. So very first thing, I'll start with the signal. Right. So most of us know signal means. Can anybody tell you? Can tell me what exactly the signal means? Because irrespective of the topic what I'm discussing, you might have come across so many signals in the embedded system also, or in any other subject also. How do you define a signal? Definition point of view.
Like
General.
information,
Very good.
like
Yeah,
like information which is being sent in the form of an electronic wave, or
yeah. So ultimately, you would like to convey some information from one point to the other point. Yes or no?
yes, sir.
So need not to be always electrical. I'll tell you an example, right? I just see sometimes the students who are writing an examination, right? Some students are now still standing outside, and some students already entered into the hall and they take the question paper. And there's a lot of gestures happening from outside to inside. Yes or no? What kind of gestures you expect generally? What type of questions are coming? Which topic is more important? Is it not generally you do with various gestures kind of thing?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes.
And suppose two persons are very far and they are unable to communicate directly, and they wanted to. We use generally nowadays a mobile, but in olden days, maybe some fire kind of thing, right? Or some kind of other means of communicating the things by sounds or by some way of lighting the lamps and all. Agreed or not?
Yes.
Yeah, so these are all types of different modes of communication happening in the earlier stage of this particular technology has evolved. But ultimately, signal is all about conveying something. Now here, the signal is something like, we try to generalize the definition. So any physical quantity, I must say, any physical quantity which is varying with respect to some independent variable. What does it mean? I'll explain. Some independent variable. So here, this independent variable could be many things. Generally, in our subject, we deal with the time, but need not to be time all the time. It could be a space. It could be maybe some directions. So I think etc. Right? I just trying to take. There are so many other things. Okay, so any physical quantity which is varying with respect to the some independent variable, mostly we use the time. I'll give you some example. Suppose your mobile signal, right, is not up to the mark. You are unable to catch, your mobile is unable to get the signal strength. What do you do? you take your college only. Do you think in your college building everywhere signal is same strength, or it will be of different strengths?
Different strength.
Right? Sometimes no signal at all. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
What do you do?
We go some other place.
Yeah.
We'll
So
go
can
to
you
some
say
high
that?
place.
Yeah. Can I say that signal strength depend on the space?
Yes, sir.
The space dependent. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And sometimes even though at the same place, you take direction, right? Sometimes you make little up and sometimes you make little down. Yes or not?
Yes,
Direction.
a tower or something.
Or else I'll give you an example. Set-top box, the DTH, the person who will come for the first time wanted to install that no DTH set-top box, what he will do, he will go in the top and he will try to adjust the dish, that kind of antenna in a particular direction. Then only the signal strength will be increased. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is a direction dependent. The
Yes,
quality of the signal strength in your set-top box will be a direction dependent. The mobile signal strength will be a space dependent. What about temperature? Whole throughout the 24 hours temperature is same?
No, sir. Vary with time.
It is very
Time
with
dependent.
respect to time. Yes or no?
Time and height also. Yes, space also.
Yeah, both. Correct or not? That is what a signal.
Yes, sir.
If mathematically I wanted to represent symbolically or mathematically, okay? Symbolically or mathematically, if you wanted to represent the above definition, if it is a one variable, if I wanted to represent this is the time dependent signal. Time dependent signal. Or else it could be two-way. S of t comma theta comma pi. What is it? Signal strength depends on the
Time.
yeah, depends on the time, elevation, and azimuthal direction, right or not? Generally, the pi. Have you heard about these notations? Generally, pi is taken under azimuthal direction, means horizontal. Horizontally, you can rotate something on a plane. When vertically you do it's elevation. Correct or not? Is it clear to all of you? Theta generally considered for elevation. Pi is a azimuthal direction. It's generally we use an antenna terminology, but in general also the students who are not aware of what exactly theta and pi, but ultimately a signal can dependent on only one variable or it could be set of variables. So the definition slightly you can keep like this now. Is it clear?
Sir.
Everybody, I hope, understood the definition of a signal. Any
Yes,
signal
sir.
which can be varied with respect to some independent variable is considered as a signal which conveys information also. And there are so many signals which vary, but it may not convey information. That is also important. Not only by varying with respect to the some independent variable, but it has to convey some kind of information. I'll give you an example of the noise. Noise is all about you try to make a call to your friends during the rainy season. Can you tell me that the quality of the voice will be same or it is going to be different based on the environmental conditions? Everybody following?
It will be different, sir. It will be different, sir.
It will be different based on the conditions, right? It will be a dry or it's a very atmospheric is very clear, and then signal strength is good. If there is a rainy and then thunderstorms are happening, then the signal strength may be very poor. But how much poor can you define?
No, sir. We cannot define.
No.
No, sir.
Yeah.
No.
Only poor means it is changing, that we can say, but we cannot define it, right or not? So there are so many things are there in our nature we observe which are varying with respect to the time, but it does not convey anything. So that is the reason when you wanted to define a signal, two things you must keep it in mind. It must vary with respect to some independent variable, but at the same time it has to convey some kind of information to the user. If both are happening, then I can say, okay, it is a useful signal. Otherwise, it is a useless signal. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So this is a signal definition. Let me go to the system now. System definition I'm trying to take it.
Sir, can you repeat that azimuthal direction, sir?
I'll try to repeat. Okay, here I'll try to explain. Suppose this is the tower, right? This is your mobile tower. Let me take the mobile tower. Let me assume that. Okay. And user mobile is somewhere here. It's a mobile. Okay. Maybe it has some antenna. See, the signal strength is coming like this. This is the area. Now, generally, area will be represented by a sphere or circle. You tell me. The area is represented by a sphere or circle.
Sphere.
Circles. Circles.
Sphere.
Sphere.
With respect to the direction also. Otherwise, I'll do one thing. Okay. So maybe this is center. Okay. So something, if you are moving, right, this is your standalone place. You are moving this direction. You are moving in horizontally or vertically. If you're moving like this, this is your center place. You are moving horizontally or vertically?
Horizontal, sir.
Horizontally. So if it's 0, maybe this is called your pi direction. Pi means you are moving azimuthal. Okay, from one particular point. Suppose you are in plane, right? You are in aircraft. Let me take an aircraft. While taking off, it will go like this, no? Take off, I'm talking about. While taking off, are you moving vertically or horizontally?
Vertical. Vertically.
Both.
Actually both, sir.
Generally both, right or not? Generally
sir.
both, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go straight vertically, then I understand, but otherwise it is a different place. If you're moving this direction, so it's something like, no, with respect to the particular point, right? If you want to take this way, so this is called theta. Vertically, whatever angle, no, every point you define. How can I define this way? I'll define. Okay, this is a 3 dimension, x, y, z. So xz plane, right? Xz plane is called whatever angle from here. So something like this is called pi. Is it clear? This is xz plane. Xz plane is horizontal or vertical?
Horizontal.
Vertical.
Horizontal. Now yz plane, sorry, xy plane,
Vertical, sir.
vertical, right? When I take xy plane like this, then it is called theta. Is it clear?
Yes.
Means one from one particular point, a mobile can be moved in horizontal direction, or it can be moved in vertically also. Anything is happening. Anything is possible. Yes or no?
Yes.
Generally, antenna, no, if you have a routers, no, the antenna can move in both the direction, vertically as well as horizontally. They give a mechanical arrangement such a way that the antenna can be moved in horizontal as well as vertical. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So vertical making an antenna is called elevation. Horizontal movement is called azimuthal. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So let me go to the system definition now. System can be, there are multiple definitions. So first definition I'll try to tell you. It's an interconnection of passive and active components. Interconnection of passive and active components or elements. Passive and active elements. One of the definition is a common definition, because even in the mechanical also, anything you try to design, don't you think it is a interconnection of so many smallest devices?
Yes, sir.
Right or not? A screw is a passive. Screw is a passive, yes or no? Maybe force you apply to this different gas will be a active element, yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so passive and active element interconnection, to try to make it, it becomes a system. Agreed or not? Your car is a system. Smallest device which you can make a mechanical kind of action is happening in that, it is a system. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The second is called, it could be a software program. Within the bracket, I call it as an algorithm, which performs some task on the given input to get some output. I think your embedded system you studied, no? 8051 microcontrollers or whatever madam has taught. Remembered or not? 8051 microcontrollers, everybody is aware?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are aware.
Yeah, so what exactly 8051 microcontroller will do? Based on your program, it will react. Yes or not?
Yes.
Yeah, you connect various sensors to the microcontroller. Sensors will give some data from sensing the environment by converting into electrical signals. Based on that, it will take some necessary action. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
So necessary action is an output. This is a necessary action by the microcontroller, and input is basically coming from the sensors. And whatever actions it is going to take, it all decided by the program written by the user. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when somebody would say DSP, digital signal processing, I'm trying to perform both, whether it is interconnection of the passive active elements or it could be a software program. Both are possible. When I'm going to use digital elements, instead of writing a program, you have something called, in electronics terminology, we call it as FPGA, the full form. What about FPGA full form?
No, sir.
Just a minute. Sir, good afternoon. सर, हाँ सर, क्लास में हूँ मैं. क्लास होने के बाद कॉल करूँ क्या? नहीं, रडा सिग्नल प्रोसेसिंग. ठीक है सर, मैं फिर कॉल करूँगा क्लास के बाद. Okay, so if you look at here, yeah, I was trying to explain something. I lost my words. What I was discussing?
FPGA.
Yeah,
Sir.
correct. So FPGA, I have heard about the anywhere. The full form is called Field Programmable Gate Arrays. That is the full form. In electronics, we have some device called Field Programmable Gate Arrays. It's nothing but you have huge amount of silicon wafer. Actually, it is a material called silicon wafer. On that, there are so many smallest blocks are already designed. Every block is some kind of a gate. Now, by using some kind of algorithm, you can interconnect the various gates. Then it can become some kind of algorithm. Understood? Maybe this is AND gate, maybe this is OR gate, maybe this is NOT gate, maybe this is NOR, maybe this is NAND. Like that, some millions of gates are available. Millions of gates are available on the silicon wafer. By doing some kind of programming, you try to have, may not be all millions, but some of the gates, you try to make some connections between them. So the moment you take some connections between the some gates, finally one of the gate will act as an input which will take from the external world, and one of the gate will give you output from the processing. Is it clear? So
Yes,
it is
sir.
something like, yeah, in your terminology, interconnection of passive and active elements. This is like interconnection of various gates to produce a particular process. We call it as application specific IC. We call a SIC. Name itself indicating application specific integrated circuit. We call it as an ASIC. Now, if there is otherwise called digital signal processor, like your 8051 microcontroller or 8086 processor, we have some kind of processor called digital signal processor, where it has similar to our microprocessor only, our normal computer. It will have some kind of ALU and all, and some RAM is available. Based on the program what you write in this memory, this ALU will perform. It will give you the required kind of action. So this is called second category. It could be a software program or an algorithm which performs some task on the given input and to get a required output. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So signal is which can convey some information and also has to vary with respect to the time or some independent variable. Coming to the system, it could be an interconnection of passive and active elements, or it is a software program and an algorithm which performs some task on the input to give an other output. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, these are the very simple definitions of signal and system. Now we are trying to understand types of signals. Types of signals. So when I say types of signals, there are two classification based on based on nature of the independent variable. There are so many other, but only required things I'll cover it up, because if I discuss more, it may be a confusion for you. I'll take only the important point, and that only you try to remember. So I'm trying to write here classification based on the nature of the independent variable. So suppose I'm trying to take some xy plot. This is my time dependent variable or independent variable, and I just represent the signal as this one. Can I write this way? XY direction. So generally
Yes,
in
sir.
mathematics we have x-axis and y-axis, but in the signal sense system, instead of calling as x and y-axis, we always consider x-axis will be the independent axis and the y-axis will be the dependent axis. Because independent means it's a time, which is a t, x-axis. Dependent means function of t, so that you can write it as an s of t. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, so here what I'm trying to do is, have you any time use a microphone where you try to speak and some kind of signals you see on the computer, that speech signal kind of representation? Have you seen anywhere? Maybe in the movies or somewhere?
Yeah, we see lots of times. Yes.
Yeah, because in the movies also you see some kind of passwords breaking and all, right? Some of the detective related movies, if you wanted to crack some kind of thing, and where people used to have the speech, right? They wanted to copy and paste so that they can match the password and all. Did you see all these things?
Yes, sir.
It will be something like this, no? Some randomly it will happening like this. Correct or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So whenever I'm speaking, the speech signal I'm trying to represent on XY direction here, where based on the time my speech is going to change. Agreed or not? Because
Yes,
every
sir.
time the pronunciation, the words which I deliver, the amount of strength which volume I'm trying to tell, it will not be same. It keeps on changes. Yes or no? Correct or
Yes,
not?
sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Here, anywhere you find there's a breakage in the voice, or it is a continuous voice?
Here it shows continuous, but when we
Continuous.
are speaking, there will be always a break.
Yeah, break means whenever I'm taking a pause. If I don't take a pause,
It will be
while
continuous, sir.
yeah, if I giving a speech without taking any pause, is it not a continuous? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Or else somebody wanted to measure a temperature of 24 hours. Maybe this is 0, maybe 1 hour, maybe second hour, maybe third hour, maybe fourth hour, like that 24 hours, right? I'm not trying to draw all, but 24 hours. The temperature will be continuous, or it is having a break?
Continuous.
It will be continuous.
Yeah, maybe night time it may be some 22 degree, but by the time mid afternoon, right? Maybe 2 something like it, maybe some 48 degrees. Then it will come down. Yes, just a minute. The power is going off. I'll try to connect my charger.
Daddy కనిపిస్తాడు. Daddy.
Okay, fine. So as you said, the temperature whenever somebody would like to measure for 24 hours, is it not continuous? Yes or no?
It is continuous.
Very good. So here what I wanted to tell all of you to try to observe that if I'm trying to make from here to here some finite value, maybe this is here 24 hours is a number which cannot be more than 24 hours a day, but need not to be a day temperature measurement, but any kind of application you want to measure something where this axis, right, this is a finite value from 0 to n. This n could be any value. So this is a line of n units. If I want to define some points, how many points I can define over the line? How many points I can define over the line? Tell me.
Infinity.
Infinite, sir.
Infinite point. Very good. Infinite points we can define over a line. We can define over a line. So at all the infinite points, are you in a position to get the amplitude? That you tell me from the first graph. If from 0 to n, I'm taking some x-axis or some time duration. In these infinite points, I'm in a position to get some amplitude everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or not? Try to tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
At
sir. You will.
every point over the time duration 0 to capital N, if you are in a position to measure an amplitude, get in some value, then you can consider your time axis is continuous. Is it okay? I'm trying to write.
Yes, sir.
If we are able to get amplitude at infinite points, then we can say that the time is continuous. So now onwards, everybody should be able to understand. When somebody say time is continuous, it all depends on the amplitude's availability at infinite points. Is it okay?
Okay,
Is
sir.
it clear?
Yes, sir.
If we are able to get an amplitude at infinite points, then we can say that the time is continuous. Now I'm trying to give you a second example. I think nowadays IPL is going on, right? Everybody is watching IPL.
Yes, sir.
Very
Yes,
good.
sir.
Now I think you can see there is a over by over analysis happening. First over, second over, third over, four, like the 20 overs are there. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you are able to get some runs only for one. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Maybe first over they got 8 runs. Example. Again second over maybe they got 10 runs. Yes or not?
Bar chart. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
A bar chart, whatever it is. Can I get a value at 1.5 overs?
1.5. No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Generally, it is possible that nobody is taking, right? So far, you have seen so many matches from the last 10 to 15 years. Nowhere you have seen a graph of 1.5 overs, how many runs are taken. You're trying to discretize, right? The quantity with respect to 6 balls.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, is there any possibility of 1.5 ball?
Is there possibility?
It is sampling in a sampling actually. Our samples
Yes,
are
sir.
overs, but in each over again there will be 6 samples, each ball. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, a ball cannot be 1.5 ball or 1.7 ball. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So there are so many applications where you can take the data over a specific time duration. It cannot be, exactly 1.5 or a 1.7. Either you have to take the data at one time instant, next will be second, then third. It is not possible to get the data at interval in between the points. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
So in that way, I can say that my time is not continuous. My time is not continuous. Why? Because my time can be only 1 second, or it could be 2 seconds, or it could be 3 seconds, something like that. 1 second equal to 1 ball, 2 seconds is equal to 2 balls, third second equal to third ball. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So it cannot be 1.5, it cannot be 2.5, it cannot be 1.1. So you are not in a position to get the amplitude at a discrete or not continuous instant of time. Instead of getting only discrete levels of time. So you can call maybe at first second I get some amplitude, maybe after 1 second duration I'll get one more amplitude. After again some duration it will be 3 seconds. So it is a equal intervals of time, then only I can measure the amplitude. I said just now mentioned, no, the over rate, right? The runs with respect to the overs, it is measured with respect to 1 over, then 2 overs, then 3 overs, then 4 overs, analysis point of view. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So in that say, can I say that time is continuous?
No, here time will not be continuous because it is not 1.1 over or 1.2 over.
Amplitudes are occurring only at the end of the over. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I can say that if we are able to get amplitudes over discrete intervals of time, then we say that time is discrete. So graphically you can represent this way. This is my time. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. Now this is my time. Maybe I'll get some height here, maybe I'll get some height here, I'll get some height here. Is it clear? You'll get amplitudes only at discrete levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You will not be able to get the amplitude at intermediate levels. Okay?
Okay.
Is it clear symbolically or graphically how you represent a discrete, time discrete? Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
And whenever time is discrete, generally the symbol is changed. Instead of t, it is moving to n. N is stands for number. N can be 0, n can be 1, n can be 2, like that. When t is used, it is trying to represent a continuous time. Okay. Generally, the symbolically, small t is useful for representing a continuous time, and n is represent for discrete time. Now onwards, you try to remember this. Even though I wrote t wantedly, because my time is not continuous, these are only numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Numbers is represented by n. So that is the reason when n will be your t change, s of t can be written as, how can I write it? S of, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So generally parentheses will be symbolically useful to represent a continuous time. Square brackets are generally useful to represent a discrete time. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Now I'm trying to define, based on the classification, 2 types of signals. Continuous time signal. Then comes discrete time signal. So what do you mean by continuous time signal? Any signal for which time is continuous, you can define it as a continuous time signal. For any signal which is discrete time, for that I can consider it as a discrete time signal. Definitions are clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'm trying to slightly give, this is called, out of this axis, we are taking reference of continuous or discrete only independent axis. Yes or no? Independent axis nature. What is independent axis for us here?
X-axis.
X-axis is the time. Yes or no?
Time.
Only
Yes,
time
sir.
nature it is. Suppose if you consider S of t nature, what is S of t for us? Y-axis. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If S of t is also continuous, no, I'll tell other. If S of t is, just a minute. If S of t is discrete and t is discrete, then that signal is called digital signal. I think we've reached to our topic. What is the definition of a digital signal now?
S of t and t both are should be discrete.
Very good. If amplitude and time, okay, S of t is nothing but amplitude, no?
Yes, sir.
If amplitude
Yeah.
and time, both are discrete, then we can say that signal is, digital signal. Is it clear?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Let us understand more clear way of digital signal. I give one more example here in terms of the picture. Okay, I'm trying to draw some random signal here. Maybe it is having something like this. Can anybody tell what type of signal it is? Continuous or discrete?
Continuous, sir.
Continuous, because the signal may not be
Continuous.
after this n, but 0 to n it is continuous. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, maybe this is the minimum value of the amplitude. Yes or no? And this is the maximum value of amplitude. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me take my minimum value. This is a 1. Maybe this is a 5. Assuming that. Okay. So my signal is going to vary between two values, 1 and 5. And between 1 and 5, vertically also I got one axis, no? 1 to 5. Height. This is
Yes,
1,
sir.
this is 5. Total how many range? What is the range? Total range? Is it not 4?
Infinite.
4 units. Yes or not?
Yes, sir. 4 units.
Okay. Out of these 4 units, how many points I can define?
Infinite.
N number of points we can have, sir.
Very good. Infinite points I can define. Now, don't you think from 0 to n, this amplitude is taking infinite points amplitudes? In this particular 0 to capital N, is it not my amplitude is taking all the infinite points amplitudes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, suppose I'm restricting my amplitudes to a finite levels. I'll give an example. 0 to maybe this capital N, I'll take it as a 5. Again, I will try to draw only in the simple way, so that dotted line. I'm defining 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So maybe this is 1, this is 5 as I said. This is 5. Now I'm trying to project the amplitude at 1 will be this much. Amplitude at 2 is this much. Amplitude at 3 is this much. Amplitude at 4 is this much. And amplitude at 5 will be maybe some smallest height. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
I'm trying to sample the signal of continuous signal what is given to us. Now I'm trying to divide my 1 to 5 into again 4 parts. The height is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So I'm trying to like this. I think let me take some other color so that it will be easy for you. Okay, this is one that we take. Okay, now you tell me at t is equal to 1, what is my height? Is it exactly 2 or slightly less than 2? Tell me.
So can you repeat it
So
once again?
T is equal to 1. At t is equal to 1. The height is for actual signal,
Less
which is
than
a
2.
dotted line with red color. Is it exactly touching at a 2 or slightly less than 2?
Slightly less than 2.
Slightly less
Slightly
than
less than 2, right or not? Well, less than 2 means it could be 1.99. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But what I'm doing is I'm giving a restriction in the amplitudes also. My amplitude should not be infinite points. Amplitude should be either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. These I'm giving the restrictions. I'm trying to give some limit on the number of points even in the amplitude also, so that my amplitude becomes a discrete. Because infinite points now converted into how many points? How many?
5.
Only 5 points. So I am restricting my signal to take only these 5 points. So 1.99 is there. You tell me, should I approximate it to the 2 or should I approximate it to the 1?
2.
So I'm just trying to approximate it to the 2 here. So what is the error?
0.01.
Okay, very good. Now let me take a t is equal to 2. What is the height I am having? Is it exactly 2 or 3 or in between?
In between 2 and 3.
Yeah, approximately how it could be? 2.7.
Approximately 3.
2.7, right?
Yes, sir.
Actual value. But where should I approximate? With 2 or 3?
Upper bound 3.
3, sir.
3.
I should approximate to 3, no? I'm trying to approximate to 3 here. What is the error?
0.3.
Maybe 0.23. Yes or not? Error is 0.23,
Yes, sir.
no? Then again at t equal to 3, it is exactly 5, right or not?
Right, sir.
So actual value is 5, no error at all. Agreed? This is t is equal to 1. This is t is equal to 2. This will be t is equal to 3. Can you tell me what is t equal to 4 now? Slightly greater than 2, no?
2. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So let me assume that it was around 2.01. Where should I approximate?
2.
2.
So I'm trying to reduce height here. So again error will be 0.01,
0.1.
not 1,
0.1.
negative way. In a negative way, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Error is error. Is it a positive or a negative? Error means error only, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Finally, I'm reaching to the fifth one. What is the value of fifth one? Is it less than 1 or greater than 1?
Less than 1.
Less than 1. Approximately it could be
0.9895.
0.97, something like that, right? I'm approximating it to 1 now.
Yes, sir.
Correct? So out of the 5 points, 4 points I've approximated, 1 point I made it as it is. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you not able to get some error? All these errors are called, actually this process is called quantization. The process is called, you're quantizing means you are making some quantity of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is called as quantization. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Any fraction value is called not quantity. When it is completely approximated to the integer or accepted in amplitude level, it's called quantized. Okay. So once you do the rounding to the nearest integer, whatever error you get, this error is called quantization error. Quantization
Error.
Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now, here, am I not discretizing both time and amplitude both? Actual signal is this one. Actual signal is this one. But actual signal 0 to 5, I'm trying to divide into how many samples? Total 6 samples, no? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is it not 6 samples?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So converting your continuous time signal into discrete time signal, the process is called sampling. Converting continuous time signal into discrete time signal is called, what is the process called?
Sampling.
Sampling. So here symbolically I'm telling, already I mentioned, when you mention within the parenthesis within the t, the signal represents what type of signal? Continuous time signal or discrete time signal?
Within parentheses
Continuous.
will be the
Continuous. Parenthesis means continuous. Open
Continuous.
bracket means
Yeah, when you apply the sampling, what I'm going to achieve?
open bracket.
Discrete.
Discrete.
Very simple. So this is simple. So from continuous to the discrete, I'm not giving any restriction on the amplitude. My amplitudes can be, it could be 0.97, it could be 2.07, then it could be 1.99, then 2.77. Correct or not? So this x of n is called discrete signal. This x of n is called discrete signal. The discrete signal is given to a process called quantization. Then what is my output I'm going to get? X dash n. Both your amplitude is also discretized, your time is also discretized. Then I can consider what type of signal it is.
Digital.
Digital signal.
I hope everybody understood now how your signal is converted into digital.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Actually, after the sampling only, it will modified as a discrete. Then why need a quantization?
Sorry?
The quantization in the subset of the sampling only, sir.
No. Quantization is separate step again. That is a separate procedure is there. Sampler is different, quantizer is different.
So without the quantization in the sampling, how can we?
Without sampling, quantization cannot be done. First sampling has to be done.
So in sampling only, we are upper bounding or down, lower bounding the these values, continuous values.
No, after sampling, I'm going to get heights, no? At 0, I get 0, maybe 1 amplitude. At t equal to 1, I might get, how much it is, 1.99. At t is equal to 2, I will get 2.77. T is equal to 3, I will get 5 as it is. T is equal to 4, 2.01. T is equal to 5.97. So my time is discretized, but amplitude is still taking any value in infinite points, no? Out of the infinite points, it has the liberty to accept any height. Yes or no?
Yes.
The moment I apply the quantization, we are restricting that no infinite points which it can take any value to only the defined values. What are the defined values means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only.
So finally, you are continues to discrediting the excess like time in a sampling.
Correct.
Then in quantization,
Amplitude is discretized.
in quantization you are discrediting the y-axis.
Amplitude.
Yeah, amplitude means y-axis only.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is what I said, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Then why you are writing in the before sampling x of t? Like why can't you write just t only? Parenthesis t.
No, T is only independent. No, overall signal I'm doing. No, signal we are modifying, not only time. Time is a dependent. T is only independent variable. Now we are trying to do both in the digital signal. Both dependent axis, independent axis are quantized. I mean, so discretized. In the discrete signal, only the time axis is discretized. Amplitude was not touched in the discrete signal.
Yes. Yeah.
Correct or not?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So I should say that by doing the sampling, time is discretized. By doing the quantization, amplitude is discretized. Once both are in discretized position, you can call that signal as digital signal. And finally, I'll reach to a more important state. Total, how many levels are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 combinations, no? I think all of you are aware of binary number system.
Yes, sir.
0 and 1.
No, sir.
Suppose
No.
I have a 5 combinations. To give a unique binary ID, how many bits I need? To give a unique ID to each
4, 5.
combination. 3, no? Log to the base to 5. How much will get? 2 point some change. Log to the base to 5. Other I'll give another. Log to the base to 8. How much?
3.
It can be written as how much? 2
3.
power 3. Can I write it as 3? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Log to the base to 4. How can I write? 2.
2.
Sir, can you tell about some binaries? One of my friend is not.
Can you repeat?
Can you tell about some binaries?
It's a binary you are not aware.
Yeah,
Sir,
we
chalo,
are
sir,
aware,
sir,
but my friend.
Okay, I'll give an example. Okay, I'll give a best way. But don't deviate. Actually, the subject was different. But this is only of the subject. Suppose I have only 1 bit. Okay, if only 1 bit I wanted to consider, I can represent 0 or a 1. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
If there
Yes,
are
sir.
2 bits, if there are 2 bits, I can write the 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If there are 3 bits, I can represent 0, 0, 0, 0,
4
1.
and
Yeah, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0.
Means number of possibles.
Yeah, number of
Combinations.
possibles. Okay. So here number of possibles are 8 actually. You can say this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 combinations, no?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If there are 8 combinations, how many bits are required?
3,
3
3.
bits.
If there are how many combinations here?
4.
4.
8 combinations.
4 combination, 2 bits.
4 combination, 2 bits. Yes.
Yeah, here how many combinations?
2
Combination
combination.
1 bit.
1 bit. So log to the base 2 is equal to 1.
1.
Log to the base 2 4 is equal to 2. Log to the base 2 8 is equal to 3. This is general formula we try to adopt. Suppose in my amplitude, anything greater than 4, anything less than 8, you must go for 3 only. Yes or not? According to me, I got 5
Yes, sir.
combinations.
Yes, sir.
In the previous
Yes, sir.
example, 5 combination means I cannot go with the 2 bits because 2 bits maximum how many combinations can represent?
4.
4. So obviously I need to go for next higher one. What is the next higher one? 3
8
bits.
combinations.
So I'm trying to represent 1 by 000, 2 by 001, 3 by 010, 4 by 011, 5 by 100, something like that. Okay. How many more are going to possible? 101,
3.
112. This is called unused
2.
combination. Unused combination. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Can you repeat again, sir? No, I didn't get it.
Yeah. Can you repeat your doubt?
No, just now what you explained, just can you repeat it again, sir? Between
Okay,
log
sir.
2, 3 and log 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever you know the number of combinations to assign a unique binary number, you simply follow the formula log to the base 2 capital N, where capital N is the number of combinations available. Number of combinations needs to be represented. This is the formula actually. Okay. If you have only 2 combination needs to be represented, simply you substitute here log to the base 2 you'll get how many bits? 1 bit, right or not? So 2 combination means yes or no. Yes means 0, no means 1. Generally we represent that way, correct? Suppose I have a 4 combinations. So log to the base 2 4. So I get 2. So I think how many subjects we have in our semester right now?
5.
How many subjects?
5 subjects, sir.
5 subjects.
5 subjects. Now I'm asking each subject needs to be given some binary number, unique binary code. How do you give a unique binary code? Maybe your subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4,
5.
subject 5. Your computer, you are trying to save these 5 subjects in your computer. You only said in the beginning of the class, the computer understands only binary number system. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So all the 5 subjects you want your computer to remember. Don't you think you are supposed to assign some unique binary number to all the 5 subjects?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So how many subjects total? How many combinations here?
5.
We have 5 combinations.
5. 5 means you tell me which one is suitable for me. 2 suitable, 3
bits.
suitable, or what?
3.
At least we need 3 bits.
At least 3 bits, no? So for that first subject, I'll give any number you can give. There's nothing like always start from 0. I want a unique binary number. So generally we start with a 000 because it is an ascending order. I'll give 000, 001, 010, 011, 100. Total how many more I can represent actually?
3.
8, no? How many are I'm not using?
3.
3.
They are not
They are unused. In future, if at all next semester, if subjects might be increased or you wanted to attach lab also into the picture, you can use out of these unused combinations. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Out of these unused combinations, you can allocate to the future. Even the development is happening that way only. Today, you are using 2 GB memory, then tomorrow 4 GB memory, then next till 8 GB memory. Do you think when memory is increased, your whole mobile will be refabricated right from the beginning, or always when somebody is going to design a mobile, they will have a future requirements point of view, some
Extendable.
unreserved length will be decided.
Sir, extendable memory.
Yeah, extendable memory. I think you can see every computer you try to buy, they will tell you 2 GB internal memory, extendable will be this much. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
So the extendability
Yes, sir.
depends on what? Number of unused combinations.
Unused data.
Yeah. If at the time of development, if these unused combinations are not left, then no more further expansion is possible. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Agree? I think, did I answer your doubt or not? You tell me so that I can repeat once again. Somebody asked a doubt. I don't remember your name, but you can At least tell me. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. If still you have any doubt, you can ask me. Not a problem. Generally,
Okay,
when you wanted to give it to a computer, binary number systems are important. Then while giving the binary number, always there will not be a provision exact number of bits you might be required, because exact number of bits means for 8 combinations 3 bits, for 4 combination 2 bits, for 16 combinations 4 bits, for 32 combinations 5 bits. So exactly the border may not be the point. For sometimes it could be middle of the situation. In that middle of the situation, you have to go by the minimum number of bits expected, which is 3 bits, anything between 4 and 8. Correct or not? So in that
Yes,
case,
sir.
definitely there are some unused combinations are there, which will help us for the further expansion in the future. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So now I have come to a situation. I'll go back to my previous discussion. After digital signal, you're performing a procedure called encoding. The meaning of encoding is assigning the binary pattern. How many digital signal has got how many definitions here? How many discrete levels? Heights?
5.
5. Out of the 5, what are my amplitudes? T equal to 1. What is my amplitude? T
Almost
equal
1,
to
sir.
1.
2,
2.
Equal
2,
to 1, 2. Okay. T equal to 2,
almost 3,
3.
3. T equal to 3,
5,
5.
equal to 4.
2,
2.
T equal to 5.
1.
1,
Now, 2 means I'm just trying to assign numbers here. For 1, I'm trying to give 0, 0, 0. 2, I'm trying to assign 0, 0, 1. 3, I'm trying to assign 0, 1, 0. 4, I'm trying to assign 0, 1, 1. 5, I am trying to assign 1, 0, 0. Now, can you tell me 2 should be represented by how many bits?
3 bits.
3 bits, no? So, what should I write in place of 2? 0, 0, 1. Is it not?
Yes,
This is a
sir.
lookup table for you. Here is a lookup table. I'm trying to round here. It is a lookup table for you. 2 is equal to 0, 0, 1. 3 is equal to
0, 1, 0.
0, 1,
5
0,
is equal to
1, 0, 0,
2. 2 is equal to
0, 0, 1.
then 1 equal to
0, 0,
0,
0.
0, 0.
so when computer wanted to remember the signal in digital format or a digital way, it will remember the sequence of bits 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. This is your binary language for a computer. Is it clear?
Fine, sir.
So computer will process only the end data, which is binary, but our whole subject is concentrating on this particular signal, which signal it is before encoding. Before encoding, which signal is available?
Digital signal.
Digital signal.
All the algorithms or everything, we are not interested for assigning the encoding and all. That is a separate subject. We are only interested on processing the digital signal. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'm trying to go back to our classification based on the nature of dependent variable. Okay. I'm rewriting here signal classification. Signal classification based on nature of independent variable is, first one is called continuous time signal, in short form I'm writing. The second one is called discrete time signal. Now it's very simple. Here time is discrete, sorry, time is continuous, time is discrete. Correct or not? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now signal classification based on nature of both dependent and independent variables. We can write it as analog signal. The second one is called digital signal. Digital signal. The digital signal means both amplitude and time are discrete. Otherwise, there is nothing like a standard definition for analog. Anything which is not digital is considered an analog signal. Okay, is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Can I consider discrete signal can be analog signal? Can I consider a discrete signal can be analog signal?
Analog is a continuous.
Yeah, because amplitude is continuous, so you can still consider it an analog only. Everybody try to understand. Any
Okay,
signal
only
which
time
is
is
not digital can be considered as an analog signal.
okay, sir.
Very vague definition it is. There is no standard definition for analog. A discrete signal is nothing but only time is discrete, but amplitude is still continuous. That is the reason you can consider a discrete signal as analog signal. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm trying to give you a statement. Every discrete signal need not to be a digital signal. Every digital signal is a discrete or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Every discrete signal.
Need not to be
Every
digital signal.
yeah, need not to be digital. Whereas every digital signal,
Must be a digital signal.
very good. Every digital signal is a discrete signal. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So this is what you are supposed to understand. Our topic is only focusing on the digital signals where your both amplitude and time is discrete, but
Discrete.
most of the operation, right? Yeah, there's a subject called there's a book called Discrete Time Signal Processing. Discrete Time Signal Processing book I'm talking about by Oppenheim. It's a very good book. Oppenheim. Here, even though the DSP subject, because discrete signal is widely used, whatever signal is given to you, it will represent something like this. Maybe 1.2, maybe 1.5, maybe 3, maybe 4, something like this. It's trying to represent. So it is a discrete signal basically. It's not a digital because the amplitudes are not fixed. It can have any value. The amplitudes are also taking only integer values, then you can consider it as a digital signal. So not to have only restricted to the digital, the problems which you come across in our entire syllabus, it could be a discrete or it could be a digital, but ultimately all the algorithms which we are going to discuss which belongs to digital only. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Or else other way also you can think whatever algorithms we are trying to develop, it could be discrete signals, but ultimately only one step is ahead, which is called quantization. Once quantization is applied, your output becomes
Digital signal.
Digital.
so all the algorithms it are applicable for discrete also. Whereas quantization is a separate step actually, which can convert your discrete signal into digital signal. So all the algorithms which we are going to see in our syllabus, all the algorithms which we develop may work on discrete as well as digital. Is it okay? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, now the last topic for today's class, classification of signals. Classification of signals based on the characteristics. Based on the characteristics. So characteristics are slightly different, right? The meaning of characteristics is the person might be good or bad, right or not? There are 15 members in a class. That is a discrete. The strength of a class could be analog or discrete, or continuous or discrete.
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 Discrete, right or not? So strength of the class is discrete, but each class will be of different nature. Yes or no? Based on their characteristics.
Yes.
Some class is very active in participating extracurricular activities. Some class may not be so active, right or not?
Yes.
So these are attributes, the qualities of a class or classification based on the characteristics. So we categorize the signal based on the characteristics as periodic and aperiodic. Periodic and aperiodic. The second one is energy and power. Energy and power signals. Third one is causal and non-causal signals. I will give examples of each and everything. Then deterministic and non-deterministic signal. Then symmetric and asymmetric. Symmetric and asymmetric signals. We are also called even and odd. Even and odd signals. So out of these five, how many of them you know actually? Periodic, aperiodic signal, energy and power signals, causal and non-causal signals, deterministic and non-deterministic signal, then symmetric and asymmetric signal. All are new to you, or any one of it you might be knowing?
Yeah, periodic means it will
First one.
repeat after
First one and
the
last.
certain of time.
Achha, first one and last one is known to you because they are more of mathematical.
Terms.
No.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
From mathematics point of view, you'd know it. What is periodic, what is non-periodic, and what is symmetric and what is asymmetric, right?
We know the terms. Sir.
You know the terms and you know the meaning also.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
As a signal which is repeating its amplitudes over a finite interval, you can call it as
Periodic.
Periodic.
so far some examples which I've taken for the explanation of discrete and continuous, does it belong to periodic or non-periodic?
Non-periodic, sir.
Non-periodic.
Non-periodic, because I have not made any kind of repetition. Yes or no?
Yes.
So if I'm going to draw a sinusoid and cosine signal or a triangle, a repetitive triangle, so they belong to periodic.
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 Okay. So mathematically, I'm not explaining much on this because time has to be saved. So mathematically, it can be represented by x of t must be is equal to x of t plus capital T. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Where capital T is considered as
Period time.
So,
fundamental
Period time.
period, time period. Yes or no?
Yes.
So anything which is not equal is this one. Anything is equal is this one. Is it okay?
okay, sir.
Okay. Then coming to the even and odd, mathematically x of t is equal to x of minus t.
Sir, Malosar, periodic.
Sorry?
Sir, once again repeat periodic and
Oh,
periodic.
okay. So any mathematically, if this equation is not satisfied, this part, x of t is not equal to x of t plus capital T. It means the amplitudes are not repeating. It is something like, I'll give an example. I think I give something like this, no? 0 to that's it. Is there any repetitions here?
No.
No, sir.
No repetitions, right? Maybe this. Now I'm drawing somewhere here. Is it repeating?
Yes, sir.
I think from here to here, it's capital T, right? So x of t is equal to x of t plus capital T. So x of t is equal to 0 if you substitute. So x of 0 is this one. So when 0 here, x of capital T is this one. So x of 0, whatever amplitude you have, x of capital T amplitude is also same, correct? If you slightly move, t is equal to 1, maybe this is t is equal to 1. And capital T is equal to 5, let me assume. So 1 plus 5, how much? X of 6. So 6 also height is 1 only. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So small t, whatever value you substitute, 5 plus that 1, it becomes x of 6. x of 6 and x of 1, both are amplitude is 1 only. There's no change in that, correct?
Okay, sir.
So yeah, any signal which will satisfy this equation is called periodic, and which does not satisfy this expression is called non-periodic. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So then symmetry and asymmetry mathematical expression is given by x of t is equal to x of minus t. What type of symmetric or asymmetric?
Symmetric.
Symmetric, sir.
Even or odd?
Even function. Even function.
Even means cosine signal, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, cos signal.
Yeah, cosine or cos.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, cos.
Yes, sir. But sine is not a.
X of t, x of
Odd
minus t,
function.
both is same, no? To keep a mirror here with respect to 0, is it not a mirror image of right side will be towards the left side?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir,
this is mirror image. If x of t is equal to minus of x of minus t, example is sinusoidal signal. Yes or no? If you take a mirror image, it will come just actually just like this. Yes or not? And negative of this becomes this one. Agreed or not?
Okay, sir.
So x of t is equal to minus
Okay,
of
sir.
x of minus t is considered as a odd or asymmetric signal. Okay? Symmetric
Okay, sir.
or even, asymmetric or odd. Is it okay? Now only 3 signals are left out. Energy, power, causal, non-causal, deterministic, non-deterministic. I'm trying to discuss only them. First I'll take about energy and power signals. Energy and power signals. So this is purely a mathematics point of view. You must remember, anything you try to buy from the shop, maybe a kirana or a grocery, while buying, don't you think you mention some units of each and different quantity? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You wanted to buy from a shop, kirana shop, every grocery you wanted to buy it. Just like that you ask, or you give some kind of dimensions also or units.
Yeah.
Yeah, we give the unit.
You give units, no? You want to
Yes,
Yes, sir.
purchase a bulb of LED bulb. Directly you ask LED bulb to a electrician or electrical shop.
No, no.
Specifications.
We need some special like
You
watts.
mention what? Watts,
Wattage.
right?
1 watt,
What is
2
watts?
watt,
Basically?
0 watt.
Is it not a wattage? Is it not a wattage? Strength of the signal,
Yes.
no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So energy and power also same way. When you wanted to measure the strength of a signal, these are the measured parameters, energy and power of a signal. So for the energy of a signal, equation is given by E is equal to a signal which is from minus infinity to infinity. A signal which you take x of t, you take a magnitude square dt. If less than infinite, it means this particular expression leads to a finite value, then you can define that signal is energy signal generally. The signal is called energy signal. Then average power, actually it's not power signal, average power 1 by t, there is small change, limit capital T tends to infinity, 1 by t minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 x of t square dt. If this is less than infinity, we call this a power signal. Okay, we are not discussing much on it because if you discuss more, you'll get confused. But only thing is, any signal is given to you, you simply substitute in these equations, try to perform integration. As I mentioned, mathematics, no, you need to have some kind of integrations and differentiations. If you are able to get, I think it's something mathematics only. Only thing is, in mathematics, you might have given f of t, any mathematical equation, yes or no? Maybe
Yes,
variable, separable methods and all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there's not much different. They are same. So magnitude of square of dt, if you perform an integration from minus infinity to infinity, it gives a finite value. You can consider energy signal. The second one is called power signal. So based on here, out of these two, where capital T is represented, in the energy signal or power signals?
Power signal.
So directly it indicates that all the power signals or periodic signals, power signals, all the mostly, right, not all. Every power signal is a periodic, but every periodic signal may not be power signal. That I'll tell, because this integration may not be infinity sometimes, even though it is a periodic, but it leads to infinity value. Then you cannot say it is a power signal. Correct or not? I'm just trying to write all the power signals. All the power signals are what?
Periodic.
Periodic signals. And whereas all the non-periodic signals are, or all the energy signals are
Aperiodic.
aperiodic. I'll give you one more example just so that you can easily understand. I just know at the time of explaining your continuous, I gave something like this, no? Yes or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If I'm performing a square, maybe I'll get like this. Yes or not? If
Yes,
I
sir.
want a square
Yes.
of a magnitude square, you might get little more height. If its height is 2, you will get 4. Correct or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
That depends on the
Magnitude value
magnitude, the
increase.
initial magnitude.
Yeah, that depends on the height, obviously. Then when actual your formula says minus infinity to infinity, but my signal is different from where to where, 0 to
Do n.
N only.
And then
then my limits will be 0 to n only. It cannot be minus infinity to infinity. Correct?
Yes.
Is it not area under this closed value? Is it area under this is finite or infinite?
Finite.
Finite.
So it's energy signal. Very simple. So is it not a non-periodic?
yes, sir.
Yeah, non-periodic.
The non-periodic, at the same time it is energy signal. Correct or not?
Yeah, energy signals.
Do you know ramp signal?
Right.
Ramp means
Don't know, sir.
it will increase as t tends to infinity. Is it a periodic or non-periodic?
Non-periodic.
Non-periodic. If you can you find area under this increasing up to infinity, t 0 to infinity, no?
Not possible.
Unbound, sir. No, unbounded, sir.
Yeah, obviously it will lead to infinity only. Correct or not?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Even though it is a non-periodic, but it cannot have a finite energy. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That is the reason I'm writing the other way. All the energy signals are non-periodic, but every non-periodic signal may not be what?
Energy signal.
Very good. Similarly, I'm giving a power also, right? I'm trying to give. Just now I gave same example. No? So when I say average power, right? Average power means you're trying to calculate some area under this. Area under this. So when you try to average it, maybe some 5 is coming, right? Average area you are calculating over the triangle, you're getting a 5. 5 will be represented by this way. You understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So like that, for every triangle, it will be 5 only, no?
Yes, sir.
So this is called average value. So average value means over one time period, if you try to calculate the area, if that area leads to finite value, you can simply approximate that one period by its average value. Same thing will be repeated for remaining term periods. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Suppose I'm defining one signal something like this. You have a capital T, you have a 2T, you have a 3, something like this. So I'm defining a signal in such a way that at T is equal to capital T, this height touches to infinity. At T is equal to capital T, this height touches what?
Infinite.
Infinite. So can I say that T equal to T, the height is infinity?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in that case, can I get an average power equal to finite?
No, sir.
So even though it is a periodic, between 0 to T, whatever way you are getting, even 2 to 3T also I'll get same way. But ultimately what is happening is, at T equal to the height tends to infinity. At T is equal to 2T, the height tends to infinity. At T is equal to 3T, the height tends to infinity. Even though it looks like a periodic, but at every capital T and 2T and 3T, the height tends to infinity. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
In
sir.
each period, height is tending to infinity. Do you think average power is finite?
No, sir.
No.
So it is to again no non there is nothing like no power signal. So that is the reason I wrote all the power signals are
Periodic.
periodic, but every periodic may not be
Pulse.
pulse. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now go to the third one, which is causal and non-causal. Causal signal and non-causal signal. Very simple. Causal is defined by a signal x of t for which amplitude should be 0 and t is less than 0. And it should be non-zero for t is greater than or equal to 0. So it indicates something like this. Even though it could be increasing or decreasing, it doesn't matter. So do I have any negative amplitude at negative time instants?
No.
No, correct or not?
No, sir. Negative time is not possible.
Yeah, so that is the reason it is called causal signal. Whereas some signals you try to represent something like this. Is it a causal or non-causal?
It's not a causal.
Yeah, x
Non
of t
causal.
is not equal to 0 when t is less than 0.
Less than.
Then it is called non-causal signal. It is a non-causal. It is a causal. Is it okay? Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now the final one. Fourth one, which is random and deterministic. Random and deterministic. So a signal which cannot be represented mathematically, a signal which cannot be represented, by a mathematical equation is called random. The meaning of random is, say today you are trying to measure the what is that, the noise in the atmospheric level. It will be something like, we don't know how it is going to change. Today it will be like this, tomorrow it could be like this. Correct or not? You're able to understand, whenever a rain is happening every day, do you think the changes in the atmosphere will be same or different?
Same, sir.
You cannot categorize any by using any mathematical equation. Correct or not? A noise,
Yes,
when I say noise in a class, if something is in a class of 60 students, everybody is talking, can I measure how much noise is coming out?
No, sir, not exactly.
That is what exactly. Something which cannot be represented exactly and you can analyze exactly, you can consider as a random signal. Okay. When say deterministic means sinusoidal signal, sine of omega t. You know that when omega t is equal to 0 degree, it will be 0. It is 90 degree, it will be some value. Yes or not? With respect to the time, if you are able to predict the amplitude, it is called deterministic. Correct?
Okay, sir.
So this is a random and deterministic signal. So I think one more class you need to spend for types of systems. I said no, signals and system, I'm just trying to give an overview. We have almost completed the signals part. The systems part is left out and some little part of signals is also left out. So maybe 1 more hour I'll spend on signals and system. Then we'll start our subject. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So,
So can you discuss about the syllabus, then how it's going to be?
syllabus I'll share you. So you don't have a syllabus with you?
We are having syllabus, sir, but we
How
want
can
to,
you
like,
discuss with the chapters? How can it's going to be?
Just a minute.
Discuss.
First, let me take the attendance. Let me join and take the attendance. I'll take the screenshots. I think only less people are there, right? So let me have. Okay, up to 214 it is. I'll just take from the mobile so that all of you can come in once at a stretch. Just hold on for 2 minutes. So let me first stop the recording so that it will be better.